The fluorescent lights in conference room B hummed their usual morning tune. It was 8:15 a.m. and the facilities management team had gathered around the long table, coffee cups scattered between laptops and reports. Marina pushed her cleaning cart through the door, moving quietly along the wall like she'd done every weekday for 8 years. Diane, the facilities manager, was mid-sentence when Marina entered. She barely glanced up, then smirked and pointed at the blue compliance manual sitting on the table in front of her. "She can't read this anyway," Diane said, loud enough for the room to hear. She tapped the cover with her pen. "Probably just looks at the pictures." Laughter rippled through the room. 3 managers grinned into their coffee. One glanced at Marina, then quickly looked away. Marina didn't respond. She emptied the trash bin near the door, her movements steady and practiced. On top of her cleaning cart sat a worn black notebook, its cover creased from months of handling, held closed by a fraying elastic band. At the head of the table, Lauren Chen, the newly promoted VP of Operations, watched the exchange. She didn't laugh. She set her pen down slowly, her eyes following Marina as she left the room without a word. The meeting continued for another 40 minutes. Budget reviews, vendor negotiations, upcoming audits. But Lauren found herself distracted, replaying the moment in her head. The casual cruelty of it. The way everyone had just moved on. She'd been VP for only 3 months. She'd built her career on data and process improvement, climbing from analyst to director to VP by the time she turned 38. She knew how to read spreadsheets, optimize workflows, cut costs without cutting corners. But lately she'd been thinking about the other side of leadership, the parts that didn't show up in quarterly reports. Culture. Dignity. The invisible people who kept the building running while everyone else went home. After the meeting, Lauren walked back to her office and pulled up Marina's employee file. Marina Ortiz, age 43. Hired 8 years ago as a night shift custodial associate. 0 disciplinary actions. Perfect attendance for 7 consecutive years. She'd taken exactly 5 sick days in 2019 when her daughter had surgery. Performance reviews were always the same. Meets expectations. Reliable. Quiet. Quiet. Lauren closed the file and stared at her screen. She thought about her own mother, who'd cleaned offices in downtown Chicago for 12 years while Lauren was in school. Her mother had been quiet too, had spoken English with an accent, had come home at dawn smelling like industrial cleaner and exhaustion. Her mother had also been the smartest person Lauren ever knew. The memory sat heavy in her chest. 3 weeks later, Lauren's assistant forwarded her the automated security report, a monthly digest of access anomalies flagged by the building's electronic badge system. Most of it was routine. Employees forgetting to badge out, contractors accessing restricted floors, the occasional after-hours gym visit. But one entry caught her attention. Marina Ortiz, Training Room 14C. Access recorded at 3:07 a.m., 3:12 a.m., and 2:54 a.m. over the past 12 weeks. Duration, 90-120 minutes per visit. Pattern, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Lauren frowned. Training Room 14C was the executive learning space on the 14th floor. Leather chairs, 85-inch display, whiteboard walls, full AV setup. The company charged clients $450 an hour to rent that room for leadership workshops. It was the kind of space reserved for VP-level strategy sessions and board presentations. Why would a night shift cleaner need 2 hours in the most expensive room in the building? And why 3 times a week for 3 straight months? Lauren forwarded the report to Diane with a single question. "Are you aware of this pattern?" Diane's reply came within minutes. "LOL, told you. Probably napping on the executive couch or streaming Netflix on our projector. These night shift people think no one's watching. Want me to handle it? I can reassign her to the lower floors where there's less temptation." Lauren stared at her screen. The casual dismissiveness of it. The assumption. Something didn't sit right. Marina had never caused a problem in 8 years. No complaints, no incidents, perfect attendance. And the access pattern was too consistent, too deliberate to be random misuse. People didn't show up at 3 a.m. 3 times a week for months just to watch Netflix. Lauren made a decision. She replied to Diane, "Let me handle this. I'll authorize a security review. Discrete camera installation in 14C, compliance purposes only. Don't mention it to anyone on your team." Diane sent back a thumbs up emoji. Lauren justified it to herself as due diligence. Protecting company assets. Standard protocol for unusual access patterns. But part of her, the part that remembered her mother coming home at dawn, wondered if it was something else entirely. 2 days later, the security contractor finished the installation. 2 cameras, ceiling-mounted, wide-angle coverage, motion-activated recording with audio. Lauren requested the footage be routed directly to her personal drive, bypassing the usual security team review process. She told her assistant to block an hour on her calendar every morning. Personal review time, she called it. The first night of footage arrived in her inbox at 9 a.m. the next morning. Lauren closed her office door, dimmed the lights, made herself a cup of tea. Then she opened the video file. Timestamp, 2:54 a.m. The training room door opened. Marina entered, flipping on the lights with her elbow while balancing her cleaning caddy. She set her supplies carefully by the door, spray bottles lined up, microfiber cloths folded, vacuum positioned against the wall. Then she walked to the front of the room, pulled the remote from the AV cabinet, and powered on the projector. Lauren leaned forward, her tea forgotten. The screen lit up. TED stage, red circle. A woman with a microphone stood center stage, mid-sentence. The greatest barrier to cross-cultural communication isn't language, it's the assumption that competence sounds a certain way. Marina stood in the center of the room, 10 feet from the screen, hands folded in front of her like a student in a lecture hall. She didn't sit. She watched with complete focus, occasionally nodding. After a few minutes, she pulled out the worn black notebook Lauren had seen on her cart. She paused the video, wrote something down, then resumed playback. This happened 6 or 7 times during the 18-minute talk. Lauren exhaled slowly. This wasn't entertainment. This was study. She fast-forwarded through the rest of the night. Marina watched 3 more videos, all related to workplace communication, leadership presence, professional development in corporate environments. At 4:20 a.m., she turned off the equipment, wiped down every surface in the room, vacuumed the carpet in neat rows, and left. Lauren sat back in her chair, staring at the frozen final frame. She opened the next 6 nights of footage. Night 2. Marina stood in front of the full-length mirror mounted on the back wall of the training room. She held a stack of index cards and practiced delivering a presentation out loud. Her English was careful and deliberate but clear. She repeated certain phrases multiple times, adjusting her pronunciation, changing her inflection, correcting herself when she stumbled. Good morning, everyone. My name is Marina Ortiz, and today I will present findings on operational efficiency. She said it 5 times, each iteration slightly different. The notebook sat open on the table beside her, filled with what looked like speaker notes. Night 3, Marina used the whiteboard that covered the entire west wall of the room. She wrote technical terms in neat columns: compliance, regulatory framework, operational efficiency, cost-benefit analysis, resource allocation, strategic planning. Beside each term, she wrote definitions in small, precise handwriting. Then she practiced using the words in complete sentences, speaking out loud to the empty room as if presenting to an audience. The regulatory framework requires cost-benefit analysis before strategic planning can proceed. She erased it, rewrote it, said it again. Night 4. Marina sat cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by training manuals and printed documents. Lauren recognized some of them discarded materials from the recycling bin in the 14th floor copy room: old leadership guides, outdated compliance handbooks, process documentation that had been replaced by newer versions. One of them was the blue compliance manual from the meeting, the one Diane had mocked her over. Marina had sticky notes marking at least 20 pages. Sections were highlighted in yellow and pink. Marginal notes were written in 3 languages: Spanish, Portuguese, English, translating key concepts, cross-referencing clauses. Lauren paused the video and zoomed in on the open page. Section 7.3, Operational Redundancy and Resource Optimization. Marina had underlined the entire section and written in the margin, "We do this wrong. Cleaning schedules overlap. Costs us money, plugs time." Lauren felt something shift in her chest. Night 5. Marina was back at the whiteboard, but this time she was creating what looked like an organizational chart. Boxes and arrows, names of departments, lines of communication. She studied it for several minutes, then took a photo with her phone. Night 6. Marina practiced her presentation again, this time with more confidence. She moved around the room as she spoke, gesturing naturally, making eye contact with imaginary audience members. Night 7. Marina brought a small portable speaker and played a recording of herself presenting. She listened critically, notebook open, marking places where she wanted to improve. Lauren watched all 7 nights in one sitting. By the time she finished, it was almost noon. Her tea had gone cold. Her assistant had knocked twice and given up. She sat in the dim office, the final frame of footage frozen on her screen. Marina, silhouetted against the bright whiteboard, notebook in hand, mid-sentence. Lauren picked up her phone and called Marina's supervisor in facilities operations. "Hi Robert, this is Lauren Chen. I need to meet with Marina Ortiz. Can you arrange it for tomorrow? And please make it clear to her that this is not disciplinary. Tell her I just want to talk. Tell her she can bring anyone she trusts if she'd feel more comfortable." Robert hesitated. "Is everything okay?" "Everything's fine," Lauren said. "I just need to speak with her." The meeting happened the next afternoon in Lauren's office. Marina arrived with Robert, her face carefully neutral but her hands clasped tightly in her lap. She'd changed out of her work uniform into clean jeans and a pressed blouse. She brought the notebook. Lauren gestured to the chairs in front of her desk. "Please sit." "Thank you for coming, Marina. I know this probably feels strange." Marina nodded but said nothing. Lauren took a breath. "I'm going to be direct with you because I think you deserve that. I saw the access logs showing that you've been using training room 14C at night, and I authorized security cameras to be installed in that room to see what was happening." Marina's face went still. Her knuckles whitened. "Before you say anything," Lauren continued quickly, "I want you to know that you are not in trouble. You have done nothing wrong. I reviewed the footage and I understand what you've been doing. I'm not here to stop you. I'm here because I want to help." Marina blinked. "Help?" "Yes." Lauren leaned forward. "Marina, I watched you study. I watched you practice. I saw your notebook, the materials you've been using, the work you've been putting in when you thought no one was watching. And I need to ask you something." She paused. "Would you let me see what you've been working on?" Marina stared at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, she slid the notebook across the desk. Lauren opened it carefully, like it was something sacred. The first page was dated 18 months ago. A goal list written in Spanish. Mes 1, ver 20 videos de liderazgo. Mes 3, practicar presentaciones en inglés cada semana. Mes 6, leer manuales de cumplimiento y operaciones. Mes 12, crear proyecto de mejora. Mes 18, presentar a líderes de la empresa. The pages that followed were dense with notes, vocabulary drills with English words and their Spanish translations, presentation outlines with bullet points and speaker notes. Detailed observations about company processes, things Marina had noticed over 8 years of night shifts, cleaning schedules that overlapped unnecessarily, wasting labor hours, supplies ordered in bulk but stored improperly, leading to expiration and waste. Safety training gaps that violated the very regulations outlined in the compliance manuals. Each observation was documented with dates, locations, estimated costs. There were practice presentations sketched out, introductions, thesis statements, supporting evidence, conclusions. There were self-critiques written in the margins. "Too quiet here, make eye contact, smile when you say this." The final page was written in English, the handwriting slightly less confident but still clear. Month 18, present improvement project to leadership. Show them what I see. Show them I am ready. Lauren looked up. Marina was watching her with an expression that was equal parts fear and hope. "How long have you been preparing for this?" Lauren asked quietly. Marina's voice was soft. "A year and a half. My son, he is 16. Last year he asked me why I never got promoted, why I always work at night, why I don't have an office like other mothers." She swallowed. "I didn't have a good answer, so I decided to make one." Lauren closed the notebook carefully and slid it back across the desk. "I want to give you a platform," she said. "Our quarterly town hall is in 3 weeks. We have 200 employees attending, executives, managers, staff from every department. I want you to present your operations project. 15 minutes on stage. I'll provide a presentation coach to help you with slide design and pacing, but the content is all yours. Will you do it?" Marina stared at her. "You're serious?" "Completely serious." Marina's eyes filled with tears. She blinked them back quickly. "Yes, I'll do it." "Good." Lauren smiled. "Then let's get to work." Over the next 3 days, Lauren made arrangements. She assigned one of the company's executive presentation coaches, a woman named Patricia, who specialized in helping technical experts translate complex ideas for broad audiences. She booked Marina for 2-hour sessions every other day. She also sent a calendar invitation to her leadership team for their weekly meeting, with a single agenda item, Q3 Town Hall Speaker Announcement. When the day came, Lauren walked into the executive conference room with a folder tucked under her arm. 12 people sat around the table: VPs, senior directors, the CFO, and Diane. Lauren didn't waste time. "I'm announcing our final speaker for the Q3 Town Hall," she said. "Marina Ortiz will be presenting a project on operational efficiency. She'll have 15 minutes right before my closing remarks." The room was silent for a beat. Then Diane laughed. "Wait, Marina? The night janitor." "Marina Ortiz," Lauren corrected. "Custodial associate with 8 years of experience in this organization." Diane shook her head, still smiling. "Lauren, I appreciate what you're trying to do here, but is someone going to translate for her? She barely speaks English. I'm not even sure she understands what happens in these meetings." Several people shifted uncomfortably. The CFO looked down at his notes. Lauren's voice was calm. "Marina will present in 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Portuguese. Pick your favorite." Diane's smile faltered. "I've reviewed her work," Lauren continued. "She's identified operational inefficiencies that our own management team has overlooked for years. She's documented cost-saving opportunities worth over $200,000 annually. And she's done it on her own time, with materials she pulled from our recycling bins, because no one ever thought to ask her what she saw." The room was silent now. "She's been preparing for 18 months, Lauren said, "and she's ready." Diane opened her mouth, then closed it. The CFO spoke up. "What's her background? Does she have operations experience?" 8 years of observing how this building runs when the rest of us aren't here," Lauren said. "That's experience most of us don't have." He nodded slowly. "Fair enough." Lauren looked around the table. "Anyone else have concerns?" No one spoke. "Good," Lauren said. "I'll send out the updated agenda this afternoon." As people filed out, Diane lingered by the door. She waited until the room was empty except for her and Lauren. "You're making a mistake," Diane said quietly. Lauren met her eyes. "We'll see." The next 3 weeks were a blur. Marina worked with Patricia twice a week, refining her slides, practicing her delivery, learning how to control her nerves and project confidence. She kept her night shifts. She needed the money, but she cut back her study time in the training room to focus on finalizing her presentation. Lauren checked in once a week, but she didn't interfere. This was Marina's project, her voice, her moment. On the morning of the town hall, Lauren arrived early to check the AV setup. The auditorium could hold 250 people. By 9:45 a.m., it was standing room only. Diane sat in the 3rd row, arms crossed. A few other facilities managers sat near her, whispering. Lauren took the stage at 10 a.m. sharp. She welcomed everyone, reviewed the quarter's results, introduced 2 other speakers who presented updates on sales performance and product development. Then she paused. "Our final presenter this morning has a unique perspective on operational efficiency," Lauren said, her voice carrying through the auditorium. "She sees what happens in this building when most of us go home. She's been observing, learning, and preparing, and today, she's going to share what she's discovered. Please welcome Marina Ortiz." Polite applause, curious faces, a few whispers. Marina walked onto the stage from the side entrance. She wore a navy blazer and slacks, an outfit Patricia had helped her pick out. Her hair was pulled back. Her hands were steady. She clicked the remote. The first slide appeared on the massive screen behind her, a photograph of the blue compliance manual, the one from the meeting 3 months ago. The room went silent. Marina's voice was clear, no hesitation. "3 months ago, someone told me I couldn't read this manual." She let the words hang in the air. "They said I probably just looked at the pictures." A few people shifted in their seats. Diane's face had gone pale. "Today," Marina continued, "I'm going to show you what I found inside this manual and how this company is losing $240,000 every year by not following Section 7.3. She advanced to the next slide. A detailed flowchart appeared. The current night shift cleaning schedule, color-coded by team and floor. Red boxes indicated overlapping coverage, 2 teams cleaning the same areas at different times, creating redundancy. "This is how we clean the building now," Marina said. 3 teams, 18 people, 7 floors. But look here, she used a laser pointer to highlight the overlaps. And here, and here. We have people doing the same work twice. It costs us $12,000 a month in wasted labor. Next slide, a breakdown of supply orders over the past year. We order cleaning supplies in bulk every quarter, Marina explained. But we store them in the basement where the temperature is not controlled. Products expire. We throw them away. We order more. Last year we spent $63,000 on supplies we never used. Murmurs rippled through the audience. The CFO was leaning forward, taking notes. Marina continued methodically, walking through each finding. Safety training gaps that violated OSHA requirements outlined in Section 7. 3 of the compliance manual. Equipment maintenance schedules that didn't align with manufacturer recommendations, leading to costly emergency repairs. Communication breakdowns between day and night shifts that created inefficiencies. Every point was backed by data she'd collected, photos she'd taken on her phone, notes from 8 years of observation. Then she switched languages. Para mis compañeros del turno nocturno, she said, addressing the Spanish-speaking facilities staff directly, many of whom had been invited to attend. She explained in Spanish how the changes she was proposing would reduce their overtime hours, improve safety conditions, and create clearer pathways for advancement within the company. Then she switched to Portuguese, speaking to the Brazilian operations manager in the second row, a man who'd been pushing for supply chain improvements for months. She connected her findings to his initiatives, showing how better coordination between facilities and operations could benefit both departments. Finally, she returned to English. Section 7.3 of the Compliance Manual says that operational efficiency requires 3 things. She clicked to a new slide. Accurate observation, clear communication, and the willingness to listen to people at every level of the organization. She looked directly at the audience. I have been here for 8 years. I have observed, I have learned, and today I am communicating what I've found. She clicked to her final slide. It showed the compliance manual cover again, but this time with a quote overlaid. Competence doesn't always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it's been working quietly in the margins, waiting for someone to ask the right question. Marina set down the remote. My final recommendation, she said, her voice steady, is that this company create pathways for employees like me, people who see opportunities for improvement but don't have formal channels to share them. People who are ready to contribute at a higher level but are never asked. She paused. Because we are here. We are watching. We are learning. And we are ready. She looked at Diane. Any questions? Marina said slowly. About the diagrams? For a moment, no one moved. Then someone in the back started clapping. Then someone else. Then the entire auditorium erupted. People stood. The applause was thunderous. The operations manager was nodding vigorously, grinning. The CFO was on his feet. Even some of the executives who'd looked skeptical earlier were clapping. Diane sat frozen, staring straight ahead, her face unreadable. Lauren stood at the side of the stage, arms crossed, eyes bright. Marina walked off stage to a standing ovation. Afterward, Lauren found her in the green room. Marina was sitting on the couch, hands shaking slightly, adrenaline still coursing through her. You did it, Lauren said quietly. Marina looked up, eyes shining. I did it. You more than did it. That was one of the best presentations I've seen in 20 years. Marina laughed, a sound caught between relief and disbelief. I was so scared. You didn't show it. They sat together for a moment in silence. Then Lauren said, I have something for you. She handed Marina an envelope. Marina opened it slowly. Inside was an offer letter. Position, Operational Efficiency Coordinator. Department, Operations. Salary, $68,000 annually. Start date, 2 weeks from today. Marina read it twice, then a third time. This is real? She whispered. It's real, Lauren said. You'll report to my team. You'll have an office on the 10th floor. And your first project is to implement every recommendation you presented today. Marina covered her mouth with her hand. Tears spilled over. Thank you, she managed. Thank you. Lauren smiled. You earned this. Every bit of it. 2 weeks later, Marina started her new role. Her first day, she brought the worn black notebook with her, the one that had documented 18 months of preparation, hope, and quiet determination. She set it on her new desk, right next to a small frame Lauren had given her as a starting gift. Inside the frame was a printed photo of the blue compliance manual cover, mounted on white matting with a brass plaque underneath. Evidence speaks louder than assumptions. That same week, Lauren announced a new company initiative, the Night Shift Advancement Program. Any employee working overnight hours would have official access to training rooms, professional development materials, and mentorship from senior leadership. Applications were open to all shifts, all departments, all backgrounds. Within a month, 17 people had signed up. Diane was transferred to a regional office 4 states away. It was technically a lateral move, same title, same pay, but everyone understood what it meant. She left quietly on a Thursday afternoon. No farewell party, no goodbye emails. On Marina's 3rd week in her new role, Lauren stopped by her office. "How's it going?" Lauren asked. Marina looked up from her computer, where she was building a presentation for the operations team. "Good, busy. I'm learning so much." Lauren smiled. "I wanted to tell you something. The CFO approved your entire proposal. All of it. We're implementing the new cleaning schedule next month, restructuring the supply chain, and creating the safety training program you outlined. He estimates we'll save close to $250,000 in the first year." Marina's eyes widened. "All of it? All of it?" Lauren leaned against the doorframe. "You changed how this company operates, Marina. That doesn't happen often." Marina shook her head, smiling. I saw things that needed fixing." "You did more than that," Lauren said. "You proved that leadership isn't about titles. It's about vision. And you have it." That afternoon, Lauren called an impromptu meeting with her leadership team. 12 people gathered in the conference room, the same room where she'd announced Marina's town hall presentation months earlier. Lauren stood at the head of the table. "I want to say something, and I need all of you to really hear it," she began. "We almost missed Marina. We almost let her spend the rest of her career cleaning offices at 3 a.m., never knowing what she was capable of. And the only reason we didn't miss her is because I happened to look at an access log and got curious." She paused. "How many other Marinas are in this building? How many people are working in the margins, putting in effort when they think no one's watching, preparing for opportunities that never come?" The room was silent. If you see someone working hard in a role that doesn't match their potential, if you see someone studying, practicing, trying to grow, don't assume they're lost. Don't assume they don't understand. Don't assume they're not ready. Lauren looked around the table. "Ask them where they're going, because they might be heading somewhere none of us had the vision to see. And if we're lucky, if we're paying attention, they might take this entire company with them." She closed her notebook. "That's all. Meeting adjourned." People filed out slowly, quietly. A few stopped to shake Lauren's hand. One of the senior directors lingered. "That was a good reminder," he said. "Thank you." Lauren nodded. "We all need reminding sometimes." That evening, Marina stayed late in her new office, working on the implementation plan for her proposals. Around 7 p.m., she took a break and walked to the 14th floor. Training room 14C was empty, the lights off. She stood in the doorway for a moment, remembering all the nights she'd spent here practicing, studying, hoping. She turned on the lights and walked to the whiteboard. Someone had erased her notes from months ago, but the space still felt familiar. Sacred, almost. She picked up a marker and wrote one sentence in the center of the board. "Never let anyone tell you what you can't read." She stepped back, looked at it, then added one more line underneath. "You already know the answer." Marina turned off the lights and went back to her office. She had work to do.